Chris?
Yes.
Roger is absent. Lisa?
Yes.
Caitlin?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
Sherry?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
6 present, 1 absent.
Okay, before you have an agenda. There's quite a few things on it, and we need an approval and adoption of our agenda.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Sherry Schutte, seconded by Lisa Elrod to approve and adopt the agenda as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Our board norms for the month of May are, and they are listed on the wall, if y'all can read those and they don't run together like they do for me. We will be fully present at the meeting by becoming familiar with materials before we arrive and by being attentive to behaviors which affect physical and mental engagement. And also, we will invite and welcome the contribution of every member and listen to each other. Next up is the Pledge of Allegiance. Chris, will you lead us in pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next up, we have board recognition, and I think Sherry has several recognition pieces.
Okay, as I've said before, I am not Roger. I don't speak like Roger. So, board recognition for May 2024. We're going to start with Roger Stallman. Brian, I'm sorry.
Travis Stallman.
Travis, I'm sorry. Roger on the brain. There it is. Okay, Travis. You were nominated by Brian Carty. I would like to nominate Travis to be recognized by the school board. Even though he is leaving after this year, he went above and beyond to set Mr. Kaysen up with curriculum and materials for next year. He created a binder of resources that is very neat and organized. The binder is also aligned with standards and will give Mr. Kaysen a chance to start the year off well. We greatly appreciate the efforts from Mr. Stallman, and it shows how much he cares for the future success of students at CCR2.
Mr. Bridgman does pictures, so.
All right, I get
Thank you.
Okay. Randy Bass, Tanya Holbert.
Tanya Holden.
You gotta go up there.
Okay. Okay. Randy and Tanya were nominated by Dr. Myra Seifert. And I'm going to read what was put on here. I would like to nominate Randy and Tanya for a BOE recognition and their work in revamping our alternative education program. In 2021, Mr. Bass and Mrs. Holbert worked with the building principal to develop a new vision for the program, including the addition of the Mo Option program and the implementation of the Ingenuity program for virtual learning and credit recovery. Since then, the program has successfully graduated 13 out of 14 Mo Option students, 7 out of 7 virtual, and has graduated over 20 credit recovery kids. Research has shown that students who do not graduate from high school are more likely to be incarcerated, have lower lifetime earnings, have a lower quality of life, and a lower life expectancy. Thanks to both of you, your dedication to student success and wellness, 40 students have faced the risk of dropping out now, have a brighter future, significantly enhancing the lives of the students and our community. We'd like to thank them for their dedication to our students and their well-being. I am deeply grateful for their unwavering commitment to our students and district. Thank you very much. crazy.
You want us to open it?
Yep, and this, whoever wants this. Thank you, guys. Karen Jackson. All right, come over here. Mrs. Jackson was nominated by Mrs. Schmaker. Yay! I would like to recognize Karen Jackson for her extensive work with PBIS at the middle school. She has served as a leader for many years. She takes on all the responsibility of what makes PBIS work in our building. She serves on all 3 tiers as well. She handles all the paperwork required by the state to meet the qualifications to be a PBIS school and to apply for recognition. She takes care of ordering all the ice cream and for purchasing items for the PBIS card that students can spend their Wildcat bucks on each Friday. There are many things that go on behind the scenes that Mrs. Jackson takes upon herself to handle. She spends countless hours on PBIS, and we are very much appreciative of all that she does to promote the success of this program. Thank you, Mrs. Jackson. All right, there, we got to finish again. And we are honoring 2 Crawford County R2 retirees, which I believe neither one of them could be here tonight. Is that correct? We have 2 employees retiring this year, but unfortunately they could not attend this evening. Claudia Montgomery, high school secretary, has been with us for 18 years. Julie Monroe, high school media specialist, has been with us for 16 years of service. Ms. Monroe asked me to share how grateful she is to the board and how glad she is to be able to retire as a Wildcat. So even though they're not here, and these 2 people, as all people that have retired from here or have moved on, are very essential to our school, to our kids, to our community. So we always are so grateful for them to be here, and we thank them over and over for their service.
Next item up is citizen participation. Hang on. This meeting is a business meeting of the Board of Education held in public. The board has set aside 30 minutes at the beginning of the meeting to hear citizen comments. The board allows up to 3 minutes per speaker. The board will not respond to comments at this time, but you will receive a response to any questions from the district superintendent and/or a member of the board within a reasonable amount of time after this meeting. Additionally, members of our community may contact individual board members to engage in dialogue about school matters. During this public comment period, we ask that speakers refrain from using profanity and not address students or staff by name. Speakers who violate this rule may be asked to leave. We have 1 signed up for citizen participation tonight, and that is Hannah Bowen.
I recently sent the board a expense report about potentially adding the Cuba Middle School to our athletic program. Football is an nationally loved sport and is held highly within our community. I believe adding football at the middle school level would have an extreme amount of benefits. Athletes would be more prepared from a younger age to progress from middle to high school. The access to being able to play will be easier for community members who may not be able to afford to play for the community program, which in turn is $100 every season. I also help run that community program. This could boost numbers for future years since the numbers per graduating classes are declining as the years go. If the numbers are too low, the possibility of joining a co-op with a neighboring school could help boost those numbers. The knowledge of football can be molded from an earlier age to enable better understanding of the sport. The relationships from middle to high school with all involved, the kids, the children, the staff, everybody, could grow and manifest to produce a better team atmosphere. This could open up more middle school sports opportunities other than basketball and track. The character education would blossom from the middle school to the high school age. It would also help develop their character as far as being held accountable within the classroom, including grades and behavior, which could also help the more troublesome youth find a better outlet per se. Along with being held accountable, it's another way to ensure that the Wildcat character is maintained through the school year's progression. The level of competition that middle school football has been forced to play is due to surrounding sounds already having middle school sports, has put us at a disadvantage when it comes to playing schools relatable to us, thus affecting numbers. Coaching staff would consist of 6 coaches total. There would be 2 middle school and 4 high school. However it's divided, it could be 3 and 3 or 2 and 4. All coaches work together and coach the teams in unison. In the end, the addition of middle school football would not only benefit the school, it would also bring the community more together, and most of all, it would benefit the kids that want to participate and may not have the availability to do so. And as far as the expense report goes, I know that I had talked to 2 people previously about schools we could play for. The high school just joined a new conference. All of those schools have middle school football. There's also Salem, Houston, St. James, Herman, Pacific, and St. Clair, who all have middle school football as well. The cost-wise, the youth program has all of the equipment to equip 7th and 8th grade. This is only my 2nd year of being able to do the tackle program, but last year we had, how many kids was it?
As far as what?
7th and 8th grade. I think it was like 25 maybe. So if that's the case, then that means we could,
You're at 3.
that's fine. But
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the consent agenda item there. There's multiple items under consent agenda. They're all in your packet that you could have looked at ahead of time. If anybody has any questions, now's the time. Otherwise, we need a motion for consent agenda items.
Second.
Motion by Caitlin May, seconded by Chris Bell, to approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Our next item are the financial statements and May bills. Are there any questions? Does anyone have a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Second.
Or Sherry, yeah.
Motion by Sherry Schutte, seconded by Lisa Elrod to approve, approve the financial statement and action on the May bills as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 5 yes, 1 abstain, 1 absent.
Next item, we have administrative reports. Sherry, do you have anything for board and committee?
Only thing I have right now, and I think I might have touched on this before. I can't remember. I think I told you that MSBA is planning to build a school safety program center, and they have been, and I cannot remember the gentleman's name. I couldn't find it this afternoon. But it is they are working with the man that came into Columbine to help the principal after the shooting happened up there. And after this center is built, MSBA is also planning to move there from their existing building now. And where it is, I don't know, and I don't know if they've actually found the place for it yet or not. And I think that's it.
Thank you. Building principal reports. Mr. Joe Cross is not here. So we will move into middle school. Marie, do you have anything positive that you can share with us about your building, aside from your report?
Lots of things going on, but we did our 4th grade moving over transition activity today, and I think that went well with trying to ease some of the anxiety and fear of coming over to the middle school. Some of our student council kids worked with the fourth graders, and we talked about PBS, and then they had time to go through each classroom and meet each of the teachers to try to, kind of put a name with a face and know where their classrooms are, and then they got a building tour of the middle school. So hopefully that will help alleviate a little bit of anxiety. And then we had a really good time with our pie in the face. I hope to get those pictures posted soon. But we made quite the mess, but all the staff and the students were really great sports and had a lot of fun with it. So it was cool to do. And then we're moving up our 8th graders tomorrow, so.
I think as much information that you can give kids ahead of time really goes a long way. That's great. Does anybody have questions on middle school? Okay. High school?
I didn't put it on this board report, but discipline, we were talking about the other day. So at the end of the year last year, we had 800 referrals that were processed. Currently, we're at like 435.
Nice.
So I think some of it's due to some of the kids that have went virtual or the kids that aren't with us anymore, but a lot of it has to do with the consistency, I think, in the building and the good things that we're doing there. The kids want to participate in, so they know that if they misbehave, they don't get to. And it is the second year with the cell phone policy, which accounted for several of them last year, so I can't say that it's all that, but they are learning the rules very quickly. So. And we also had a fantastic graduation Saturday, so seniors are gone. I think we had a lot of fun activities with them. I think I might have enjoyed the senior parade more than they did. It was kind of cool to go flying through town. I didn't always go that fast, but it was a good time with them, and we already miss them, so.
It's always so quiet.
It is.
It's so quiet after they
Lunch
leave.
is very quiet.
Yeah.
And you also had some kids qualify for state in athletics, and that's a great
Kaylee
positive
William was
for our school
12th,
district.
and then Cooper did not place.
Watch Kay run. Good people running it.
Good deal. Special education report.
Nothing. We just finished up the last math test today, and everything's completed. That was
Do you have a positive you can share with us other
It's
than that?
positively exciting and all of that.
It's a pretty big accomplishment in itself.
Even when they're not in your
hosted a
building.
breakfast for the special education
Special
staff.
education staff, we had a breakfast, end of the year breakfast celebration. That was very fun.
Good deal. Student rep report.
For our FFA state convention results, our horses team placed 4th out of 47 teams. Our dairy cattle out of 230 kids, Carolyn Fancher placed 18th as a high individual. And our state degree recipients are Sarah Tushoff, Morgan Pilkington, Cody Gann, and Kason Thomas. Lots of hard work for them. Sierra Britton and Marley Jones made it to area state officers. And student council held their MVP breakfast, which over 30 kids were there.
That's a great event, by the way. That's the history on that. I believe that was started in the early 90s. And I was really happy just to see it come full circle again and be utilized the way that it was.
I think it went better this year than it did last year. So.
Abby, on the area officers with having our a president and a vice president area, will they be utilizing our building? Or
I'm not sure about that. They are both our chapter president and vice president too.
Okay.
So they're gonna be doing a lot more in our building.
I was just curious to see if the area kids would be coming here for meetings and stuff. Do you know?
Typically, they'll go,
No.
because she's not our area.
No, they meet in a central location.
I gotcha. Okay.
Their interviews were in Owensville.
Okay. Huh. Interesting. That's pretty impressive that we have a president and vice president. Good stuff.
Thank you, Abby. Assistant superintendent report.
Yeah, I just have one thing to add. I had put in my report about summer school transportation. Last year we had 5 buses and we run modified routes. This year we were able to add a 6th route since our elementary numbers are higher and we have more available drivers. So we will have 6 bus routes this summer. A positive I wanted to share, some of you probably saw a post by Frisco's, a local business, regarding our lunch balances. At the end of last week, we had over $19,000 in student outstanding lunch debt. And then Dr. Davidson brought some donations back with him today after a meeting. And thanks to Frisco's and some local community members, our lunch balance account is down to just over $7,000. So we really appreciate the support of the community, not just with that, but also with the scholarships and teacher appreciation gifts and just everything that we've just seen an outpouring of support the last few months.
Absolutely. Scholarship night was, I think, $88,100 that was handed out to our seniors, and that is absolutely amazing. We live in a very supportive community, and continuing to bridge the school to the community is super important because it just fosters that support all the way around. So that is amazing. Superintendent report.
So I'll just kind of echo the community support's been very, very awesome to see the last few weeks, everything going on. And it's been fun celebrating with the seniors and doing activities with them and the elementary and middle school. One of the things I want to point out in my report, I know legislators get a lot of flack sometimes, but I do want to thank them, and if you see them or in touch with them, thank them. They did propose a budget, and it's to be fully funding transportation, teacher baseline salary grant, and fully funding career ladder. So they did, and also bumping the SAT, which is a multiplier, increasing that. So they did do a lot of good things for educators this year, so we do appreciate that. So I know we give them a hard time sometimes, but they were very supportive. So just kind of, if you see or know any, tell them thank you for that.
All right. We are moving into unfinished business. We have the 23-24 budget update.
So we're going to end the year really well. Right now, our current expenditures year to date are 86.65% spent, and then we have our revenues at 118%, and we have that 18% due to pulling our ESSER 3 funds. So we'll be sitting in a good place at the end of the school year for the current budget.
Now the 24-25 budget update.
So with this, what's in the packet and people had available to see kind of where we're at before any approvals this evening from the board would be ending the year on an 86% reserve, which is really healthy. One thing that I figured though, because it changes constantly, was working with some numbers. So I went in and submitted all the potential hires this evening, and then the potential classified hourly rate, and then even added, and I'd like to ask the board kind of for consensus, we're sitting well enough, in my opinion, financially to do a 40,000 base for teachers. So that would put us at about an 80% reserve at the end of next year. So we're in a good place due to being conservative and our utilizing ESSER funds appropriately. But I think we're in a place too, we need to look at giving back. So just kind of looking, is the board comfortable with proposing a 40,000 base for teachers? That's not the grant, that's actual base, and then multiply. Okay.
And that's gonna multiply down, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's that one that we looked at where it's.
Correct, yeah. So that schedule will meet the Senate Bill 727 requirements of a 40,000 base, and then the masters plus 10 years experience at the 46, 47, and 48,000.
So it has the multiplier going down and across.
It does. Yep, and it'll be highly competitive, quite honest to you.
Yes, it will be.
Several districts.
Very
With that, plus the career ladder, our benefits package, we're highly competitive.
Yes.
So we're sitting in a good place there, and that's still going to change a little bit till the final budget the board approves. We may add one more staff that could make that deficit spending. Right now, I've got it at $432,000. Might go up a little closer to $500,000, but again, we're still conservative because that's assuming we're going to get every dollar that the government's saying we will, and then we'll spend every dollar that's budgeted, and we don't normally spend every dollar that's budgeted. We're still conservative there, so I feel comfortable with that if the board does. And you have a month to think about it and ask questions, and feel free to see me if you have other thoughts or questions.
Yes, and to reiterate, that is a June agenda item, not a tonight item.
Correct.
Okay. So our next item item up, if there's no questions, still on the budget, is we need to approve the purchase of 2 buses. So you do have, you had some bids in your packet. Dr. Davidson can talk a little bit more about that if you have questions.
Yeah, so buses are one of the things we've seen the inflation hit pretty hard. 3 years ago, I believe they're about at 86,000, and now they're about 140,000 a piece. But with that, we did go out to bid. We received 2 bids back. Midwest Transit Equipment submitted a bid for $276,000, including a trade value of $3,500 for 1 bus. Midwest Bus Sales submitted a bid for $323,000 with a trade-in allowance of $2,000 for 1 bus. We have a good working relationship with Midwest Transit Equipment, and they're almost $50,000 lower, so we just recommend to purchase 2 buses from Midwest Transit Equipment. And we would trade 1 bus in, and then there's a agenda item to surplus the other bus. So
Do they have a delivery date?
around September when they're anticipating.
Okay. I think I remember buses when I first came on the board were around 72,000, somewhere in there, so yeah,
Good shot.
quite the inflation right there.
I know that by doing this last year, that we talked about the purpose of 2 buses. But can someone reiterate why
Sure.
we do 2 buses?
Yeah, so we have 17 buses roughly, so just say 20. If we do 2 buses every year, that keeps them at a 10-year
I gotcha.
age.
Okay.
If we do it 1 a year, we're about a 20-year oldest bus. So we
And
do.
there have been a couple of years in just the last recent years that we did only purchase 1 bus.
Oh,
So a
okay.
few of them they will be longer than that
Okay.
10-year span.
Gotcha. That's what my question was how many years it does to cycle. Okay, thank you.
And I think you guys answered this. You said we trade 1 and the other one we sell outright. Is that what you
We
said?
normally, if we get a good rate, which is about $3,500, $4,000, $4,500 is a good trade-in for a bus. We were offered $1,000 for the one, so I think we can probably do a sealed bid or selling of it, but we'll put a reserve on it. That's a agenda item at lower, but yeah, so we'll look at that. You're welcome.
If there's no other questions, we do need a motion if you would like to purchase 2 buses.
Second.
And Sherry, are you making a motion to purchase from Midwest Transit or
Oh, yes.
Midwest Bus Sales?
Transit,
Thank you.
Motion by Sherry Schudy, seconded by Chris Bell, to accept the bid from Midwest Transit Equipment for the purchase of 2 buses in the amount of $276,396 for the 2024-2025 school year. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Our next item is to approve the track resurfacing bid. This was an item we discussed last month. We did receive bids back. There's 2 bids in your packet. I think we actually, the last time we resurfaced our track, we kind of believe that these 2 companies may have been working jointly, and they've now separated. So they are familiar with our facilities, both of them. So if you'd like to talk more about these bids, that would be great.
So the last that I put together, McConnell had serviced it, and then Byron and Jones had striped it. So sometimes they work together. They've gotten large enough, they've split, and they both do all the work themselves. Or if they need help, they'll subcontract something. But really similar bids. There's a $20,000 difference there. They each have a standard 5-year warranty, and will restripe as well as put a surface on the Javelin runway. So it's really kind of board's preference. One is $20,000 less than the other. So I don't know there being reason to go with the higher bid, but it's your prerogative if you'd like to choose them or have other knowledge.
Are they both out of St. Louis?
One's Kansas City, one's St. Louis, one is
Illinois.
So McConnell is on Manchester Road,
almost there.
and Byron and Jones is
I think they're St. Louis. Yeah.
Okay.
St. Charles Rock Road.
Yeah. Byron and Jones has a Kansas City office as well.
Gotcha.
And that's what group did striking last time.
So McConnell does have the warranty also. I didn't notice that on their, on theirs.
What's that?
The MAC or McConnell, they have the warranty, the same warranty. I didn't see it on there.
Oh, so I asked them today and got an email
Gotcha.
from them that they
Okay.
do have that, and it's included in the cost.
I move to accept the bid from what'd you say, Burn and
I
Jones?
think it's Burn.
I
And Jones
second that.
for $137,500.
Motion by Tammy Palmer, seconded by Lisa Elrod, to accept the bid for track resurfacing from Burn and Jones in the amount of $137,500 as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Okay, we're gonna move into new business. Our next item is to approve the 24-25 classified hourly schedule. This is a schedule that the salary committee met and talked with classified staff about. And Dr. Davidson has some recommendations here.
So just kind of looking at our classified wages, it was not too long ago, $9.60-something cents was the starting rate, which is significantly low. Board moved that up to $12. And then we're still pretty low as far as trying to get classified folks to come and do those positions. So after meeting with the classified group, they talked about some different options, kind of looking at in general what other people can go to places in town and get hired for. $15 seemed to be the kind of a good starting point there. And then it's all scaled to the other columns on that schedule. So after 11 years of service too, went from a 30 and a 35 cent increase to a 50 cent. So we have a lower number of classified folks, but this would cost it come into just under $190,000 per year to move to this new salary schedule. And then also added on there is these certified subs, the nurses, long-term certified subs, classified subs, and bus sub rates, and that's per policies referred to our salary schedule and what those are now. So those were added to the schedule.
So does that put everybody at $15 an hour? Or do we have
Yes,
it?
the minimum will be 15,
Okay.
and then it goes up from there.
Good.
Mhm.
And like I said, it does reward the longevity after 10 years.
Mhm.
They get an extra bump in what they would have had. I mean, there was longevity in the other one, but it wasn't, I think it was like
Yeah, it's
an
30
extra
and
10 cents
35.
or something like that.
I move to approve the 24-25 classified hourly schedule as presented.
Motion by Tammy Palmer, seconded by Chris Bell, to approve the 2024-25 classified hourly salary schedule as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Okay, our next item is the 24-25 administrative, I'll just leave the rest of those words off, the administrative salary schedule.
Which I will say does have supervisors and professionals, other professionals on there. Nothing has been changed other than updating the date to the 24-25, but that's one we'll need to look at next year because I think this is going on 6 or 7 years without being.
Is that where our nurses fall?
Mhm.
Yeah, we need to
Yeah.
probably check that into that.
Are there any questions? Or do we have a motion to approve?
Unless salaries.
Yeah.
Do I need to abstain?
Yes.
Thank you.
I made that motion.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Motion by Lisa Elrod, seconded by Caitlin Mace, to approve the 2024-25 administrative supervisor's professional salary schedule as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed?
Abstain.
5 yes, 1 abstain, 1 absent.
Okay. Need to talk a little faster. Our next item is to approve one bus as surplus property.
So this is going back to the old business with the bids we had. We were offered $1,000 for a bus. We feel we could probably get $4,000 for it, and we just set the reserve at $4,000 to get that for the bus. But the board would need to deem that as surplus property, and that was bus 19 that did not make the cut for the trade.
Any questions?
So the 1,000 is what?
Was all
From the
Midwest Transit,
which is where we
but it's
are
actually better
purchasing the other
bus
bus.
because it's older, it has much less
Correct.
problems.
The new bus, okay.
Poor thing, that was misunderstood.
An older bus, but a
Right, exactly, much better engine.
If there's- Yes, absolutely. If there are no questions, we need a motion to surplus. I'll move that motion.
Second. Motion by Caitlin Mace, seconded by Lisa Elrod, to allow Dr. Davidson to sell bus 19 as surplus property as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Next item of business is to approve parking lot maintenance.
So, we've done roof maintenance each year. We've gotten into doing parking lot maintenance, which is just sections at a time. They'll go in and cut out the asphalt and re-pour and smooth it out real nice. Last year we did some out here between the central office and high school, and we just need to continue that around. So if you walk out and around, you see where it's cracked and broken up, and water just gets in there and freezes and continues to bust that up. So just looking for the board to do up to $49,999 in repairs.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
Second. Motion by Tammy Palmer, seconded by Lisa Elrod, that we complete up to $49,999 in parking lot repairs this summer as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Another maintenance item is we need to approve roof maintenance.
So again, just every year, we've got sections of our roofs that we do maintenance on just to keep up with the warranties. And so if we do the maintenance, they'll continue to extend a 10-year warranty, which is really good for us. So just asking the board, we've got a good working relationship with Styles Roofing going on 18, 19 years to do repairs up to $185,000 during the 24-25 school year.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Tammy Palmer, seconded by Chris Bell, to complete maintenance on the high school and elementary roofs up to $185,000 during the 2024-25 school year through Styles Roofing. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Our next item is we would like to approve increasing meal reimbursements.
So with the inflation going up, our current meal reimbursements are $7 for breakfast, 10 for lunch, and 13 for dinner. Which if you've looked at menu prices or even fast food, it's hard to find those when staff go out for professional development. So asking the board to move those up for breakfast to be $10, lunch $15, and dinner $20. And then what that works in our budget, it goes to our PD. So once that money's spent, it's spent. So should be any increased costs, it'll just decrease the opportunities through that.
I'll make that motion. To increase staff reimbursement.
Second. Motion by Tammy Palmer, seconded by Lisa Elrod, to increase staff reimbursable meals to the following: breakfast $10, lunch $15, and dinner $20. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
So our next item is mayor and MSBA membership information. We currently are members of both organizations, and so you've received information in your packet. To more give you information if we want to stay with both services, if we want to drop a service. I think both probably bring value. So, would you like to add anything to what I just said?
No, I think it's exactly right. We've been members of MSBA for quite a few years, and this last year board went to Mayor. They both offer the same services, so it's just whatever the board's comfortable with. One has a membership of $7,200 and one's $500. So kind of a cost difference there, but there's value. You can call MSBA just to kind of see current things going on. They do online trainings at different times. But Mayor does also, the board's not familiar with Mayor, but they have a conference, so it could be, we could do both and kind of get a feel for it.
Why is there such a discrepancy in the cost? Why is Mayor so cheap? It scares me.
So Mayor's Missouri Association of Rural Educators,
Right.
so they know a lot of rural districts have lower budgets, so they keep everything. So Mayor is really tailored to smaller schools such as ours.
I think
But
they
there's,
still need money though to run their organization.
yeah, so they,
It's pretty cheap.
yeah,
I didn't notice a refresher training either. I was looking on there to see if they had that.
on Mayor.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We went to one last year.
Yeah.
Jason
For Mayor.
and Sherry
At
did
that fall
theirs.
conference.
Oh, at the conference,
Yeah.
okay.
So
They have
I meant
training
online, like, you know.
So maybe they don't offer an online version?
I never saw it. We just, when we found out, we went ahead and did it. That was one of the first meetings we had when we went down there.
And our yearly refresher training, that is, that goes in with our, with the music, like with our internship, kind of?
Through MSBA or Mayor
Yes.
for the training. Mhm.
Yes.
You can use either
But it is like a
one.
requirement.
Correct, for our,
Mhm.
for our
It is a
insurance.
requirement.
And Mayor offers that too?
They do, yeah,
But
they both meet.
in person.
As far
it
as I
sounds
know
like.
from everything I found, it's in person.
Okay.
I looked for it because I did it this week and I couldn't find
Yeah. So that's just informational there for you to have, what you like or don't like, or.
If I remember right, there are several schools that belong to both, because I saw a lot.
Yeah, Mayor's almost up to 500.
Yeah.
Out of the 540.
Because I saw a lot of familiar faces.
MSBA though has got quite a few as well. They're probably similar too.
I just want to make sure that we're all trained, I can't say equally, the same. Like if we want to all switch to Mayor, then I feel like we all need to go to Mayor and get trained at the same time. You know what I mean? Or maybe not at the same time, but in the same way. Like,
To follow their same training.
yeah. Because right now we're
The meetings, it makes me no difference. The meetings that I went to, very similar, not the same. Same information, but like Dr. Davis said, they cater to your smaller schools, so.
Yeah. And they utilize MCE policies versus
They do.
MSBA uses MSBA policies and we're MCE, so a little different there. But
So there's not a motion on this at this time. This is something that if we wanted to make a decision next month, in the month of June, we can make a decision to drop one of them. If we want to stick with both organizations, we can also make it a goal of the board to attend Mayor's Conference, which is in October-ish timeframe. We can also just see, how we like it. We can stay with both companies for the next year. And really get more involved to see if there's a bigger difference than what we recognize.
I'm gonna suggest that the board needs to go to one of them.
To a conference.
To a conference,
Yes.
yes. Because you do learn a lot, you get to talk to other people. It was kind of disappointing to be the only one that's gone for the last few years. So I really feel that that's something, if you're a dedicated board member, that you should at least try to make one of them.
Mayor's is at Lake of the Ozark
Yeah.
and then MSBA is in Kansas
Yeah, it's
City.
in Kansas City, and that they have lost some people from the southern part of the state, but they've gained people from the northern part of the state.
So, for our newbies, what do you guys suggest then? Do you think that they should get trained through Mayor and then us go through and get a refresher through Mayor?
I think it's a time thing, I think for us, I'm
Yeah.
not speaking for Kate and
When you're
yourself,
working.
but you guys are gonna have to guide us, so we kinda need to follow you guys at least for a year, and then maybe make a transition.
That's what I was wondering, because
But,
it sounds
I mean,
like you guys are gonna have to.
I feel more like we have to lean on you guys, and if we come up with something new, then we might be butting heads, or, I don't know.
And I can get more information about mayor's training, maybe they have an
I
online.
think that would be a good
component.
idea if you
Yeah.
had, if we could get that
That's-
information for
that's what
next
you
month,
like.
at least they would have it.
You guys again have said that it's the same information, it's just presented maybe in a little bit of a different way, right?
So MSBA tailors probably more to your larger urban schools, and then mayor's more towards your smaller rural schools. It's been my experience. Not that MSBA doesn't have good information. I've called them and utilized them before as well, and gone to financial trainings through them. But it's just, to me, there's a difference in membership fees and what.
So personally,
works
I have
together.
not reached out to Mayor, but I know that any time that I have had questions, MSBA is they're easy. It's easy to pick up the phone and they can give you really good advice. They have lawyers on staff. They have a lot of people that can help you in a lot of different areas. I have not tried to call Mayor yet, so for me, it's a little bit nervous. It's a nervous decision, an anxious decision for me to like step away from MSBA just because I don't know anything about Mayor. And I mean, $500 for a year of service kind of, I don't know, I kind of also have that mindset, like you get what you pay for.
Sounds like there has to be something missing for $500.
Like it's a huge difference. It's not
I mean,
just
just
a
like
couple
like
$100.
attorneys.
Yeah.
How many attorneys can they pay for paying them $500 a school?
And I didn't notice webinars or anything too on Mayor's this time.
Mayor
I
doesn't
looked
have,
for online.
Mayor doesn't do as much as
And I've done,
MSBA does.
yeah, I've done a couple of them and they've been really good, so.
Yeah.
Or you could look at it as staying with MSBA and just for $500 more, you have a
Right.
mayor resources.
Right.
So it's really no preference here, just sharing information. I know it's come up a little bit, discuss different components of it, so just give you links to the websites and we could go both and be just fine. as
I
well,
would
so.
strongly advise you to on the websites, at least go through them.
So for now, we will leave it. It's just information. If someone has more questions over the next month, if you feel led to make some giant leap, we can discuss it again in June. And so for now, you've got the information. Okay. So we have no resident agenda items, or no board proposed agenda items, I'm sorry. And we also don't have any resident agenda items. So our next item of business is to approve our next board meeting. Obviously in the month of June.
How does the 20th look?
Oh, it's already on the, it's already on the calendar.
I like this all.
20th good?
I could, probably gonna be gone on that one. I have to be in Virginia. But with that, I would be able to zoom in on that one, time-wise. So don't do it around me then, because with my schedule, I'll be able to zoom in that night.
Okay.
Did you make a motion?
I made a motion.
I'll second that.
Motion by Tammy Palmer, seconded by Lisa Elrod, that the June board meeting be scheduled on Thursday, June 20th, 2024 at 6 p.m. with closed session to follow. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Okay, our next item is we need to go into closed session. You want to close session?
Motion by Sheila May, seconded by Lisa Elrod, to go into closed session in accordance with the provisions of section 610.021, subsection 3 and 13 of the revised statutes of Missouri in order to discuss personnel after a 10-minute recess.
Yes, thank you.
Roger is absent. Lisa? Yes. Caitlin? Yes. Tammy?
Yes.
Sherry?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
6 yes, 1 absent.
That was.